Becky, and this is Becky's Homestead. In this episode, we're talking with John Flowers from San Francisco. He's a filmmaker, and he has a blog called Life Zero. One of the things he talks about in his blog is living with less stuff. We all know how easy it is to accumulate too much stuff. Let's get our personal tour of a Life Zero apartment in San Francisco. Take it away, John.
Thanks for that, Becky. I thought we'd take an opportunity to look at a Life Zero style apartment here in San Francisco and get an idea of what it means to live in an apartment that follows the Life Zero tenets. Let's take a look at that. This is a furnished apartment in San Francisco. And if you've ever been to San Francisco, you'll notice that this is pretty typical of a studio apartment. Some of the furniture came with the apartment. This is an example, this wooden shelf, of something that came with it. We have a flat screen television because we very much enjoy movies. We don't have cable, but we do have an Apple TV, which we watch shows on, and we're very happy that HBO added a lot of the content. We have an Xbox and a pink controller, and if you take a look here, you can see that my fiance plays a game called Beautiful Katamari and Lego Star Wars, which he enjoys greatly, along with Viva Pinata. And we have my workstation where I do all the editing and a lot of the special effects work that I do. And if we go over to the workstation, we can see a keyboard, which is a Final Cut Pro specific keyboard. A lamp, an external monitor. I have a microphone for doing podcast work. And then a MacBook Air, which I use exclusively as my only machine. This is a drafting table, and as you can see, there are a lot of cords, which is kind of an unfortunate byproduct of the way that we have electronics right now. There are cords everywhere. I wish there was something I could do about that. But I do a lot of editing here, and it's a little bit controversial to have just the MacBook Air as my primary system, but I find that it works. And if I need something stronger or more powerful, I can always go into a studio and rent it. If we take a look around, we can see there's a bed. There's some furniture that came with the apartment, and a chair with a stuffed bunny in it, which is my fiance's. If we look into the closet, we can see that there are some clothes. Now, these are pretty much all of the clothes that I own. There's some shoes, a couple of suitcases, some clothes, and then at the top here we have stacks of sweaters and some jeans and things like that, a little box with some socks in it. So let's take a step into the kitchen. There are some books coming up. These are the books that I have read and I'm giving away to my Twitter followers, which is kind of fun. And then if we go over here, we have, the rest of the kitchen, something very important, I think, in every lifestyle, which is an espresso machine. And some bottles of water, and then a small table, which currently has my fiance's MacBook Air, which is her only computer, but it also has this is kind of her workstation when she's here. Now, we both travel a lot, so this makes a lot of sense to be able to have this kind of environment. But you'll notice the lack of items. I mean, we have, hopefully, only what we need and not much more. And I'd like to point out, too, Life Zero is not a destination, really. It's more like a process, much in a very Zen way that achieving enlightenment is a process. Life Zero is a way of trying to achieve happiness through just owning the things that you really need to own. And you may find it surprising to note that I actually consider what we have to be a lot of things. I think there's a lot of things we don't need, and I'm constantly trying to pare those things down. But we do have two people, and I have to be sensitive to the needs of everyone. I mean, part of Life Zero is achieving happiness through the elimination of unnecessary things. And so it's important to not become overzealous or crazy in the way that you get rid of things, but ask yourself, do I really need all of this? So I hope you've enjoyed the tour of the Life Zero apartment here in San Francisco. If you'd like to know more, you can check out my blog at lifezero.org or listen to an upcoming podcast that'll be coming out called Life Zero. Just search for it on iTunes. Thanks a lot, and back to you, Becky.
Thanks, John. Nice apartment. Love the MacBook Air. Now we're going to read some letters from some viewers. Okay, here's our first one. Hello, my name is Arthur and I live in the Bahamas. I just wanted to thank you for the information on how to build a lightweight coop and chickens. I'm very interested in keeping chickens, and any further information that you may have to share will be deeply appreciated. It seems today we are living in a world of high inflation and food shortages. What you are doing is great and meaningful. Keep up the great work. This one is from Jenny, and she lives in Alabama. Our extended family and friends really don't understand our way of life. But with the cost of milk at $4.59 a gallon and gas at $3.48, this was a little while ago, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these days they start asking our advice about homesteading. If you haven't already, I would suggest getting your blueberry bushes and fruit trees in. We waited for years and could kick ourselves. I put up jams, jellies, and preserves, and we love them. Yes, I know that's very good advice. Don't wait to start planting things that take a long time to grow. You can build or remodel your house, and when you have a little extra time, go ahead and put in the fruit trees and the bushes. Well, thanks, Jenny. That was interesting. This one's from Amy, and she writes, Hi, Becky. I just wanted to let you know that I love your podcast. Your topics are interesting and very helpful. I would love to see more of your homestead. Well, stay tuned because we do plan to do a little tour of the homestead soon. This one is from Frank, and he lives in Kentucky, and he writes, Hello, Becky. I recently came across your homestead site after searching for chicken coop ideas. I live on 6.5 acres in Kentucky and wanted to start having a couple of chickens for eggs. I really enjoy your site and watched all your videos. Thanks for the great service you provide. I would like to know more about your decision to live the simple life and how it has enriched your lives. Also, what state do you and your husband live in? Thanks again, and hope to talk to you soon. Frank. Well, Frank, I personally get satisfaction being self-sufficient. I do like to do things myself. I kind of have an independent spirit. Also, I do love to grow things and make things and take care of the animals. So I hope it enriches your life too. Give it a try. And we live in the state of Florida. A big thanks to John Flowers of lifezero.org. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to email me. Thanks for watching. Happy homesteading. Bye-bye. I gotta let it out. It's a brain fart. Okay.